So, hello! In today's fast paced world, people want convenience, comfort, and a smooth experience, especially when watching movies. That is why we created our cinema booking system. Our purpose is simple to make movie going easier, faster, and more organized. No more long lines, no more confusions, and no more stress in choosing your seats. This system teaches us how technology can solve everyday problems. It shows how a simple idea, helping people book seats, can turn into a meaningful project that improves the way we enjoy our time with friends, family, and the stories we love on the big screen. Through this project, we learn teamwork, problem solving, and how to build a system that truly serves people. Our goal is not just the code, but to create something useful, something that brings comfort and joy one seat at a time. So our system is entitled Cinema Booking System. So come and learn with me. So hello everyone, my name is Gwen and I'll be introducing the first part, which is the code 1 to 27. So in the first code line, we need to tell the compiler to include the standard input and output library so we can use printf, scanf, and etc. And the second line is just a blank line. Just a blank line to separate sections. It does nothing to the program. And next is we need to create a name rows that means the number 5. We use it so we don't hard code the number of seat rows everywhere. And the fourth one is hashtag define seats 10. We create a name seats that means 10. This is the number of seats per row. And the fifth is create a name cinemas that means 3. This is how many different cinema rooms or movies there are, where you can choose cinema, cinema 1, cinema 2, cinema 3, according to your likeness or whatever. And the next is blank line again, another blank line for readability so that you won't be confused in doing or reading so. And next is defines the name available to be 0. We'll store this value in the seat array to mean an empty seat. And the 8th code line is hashtag define book 1. It defines book as 1. This value marks a seat that is taken. And next is the 9th code is defines temp hold as 2. This value marks seats temporarily held while the user previews their selection. And the next line is blank line again, which means black line for readability. And next is utility function, a comment that labels the next section of helper functions. Comments are ignored by the compiler. And next is blank line again to separate the comment from the function. And the 13th code line is start of a function name get lnt that as the user for an integer. It takes a message to show and a minimum or maximum allowed value. And the 14th code line is end val. It declares a variable val to store the user's input. And the 15th is starts an infinite loop. The loop runs until we get valid input and return from the function. And for the 16th code line is the printf. It prints the prompt message to the screen. For example, choose a cinema like that. And for the 17th code line, it reads an integer into val. If scanf successfully reads one integer and that integer is between min and max, then the condition is true. And for the 18th, return val. If the condition on line 17 is true, return the valid number to the caller and exit the function. And for the 19th, code line is the printf. If input was invalid, not a number or out of range, tell the user and loop again. And for the 20th, code line is it clears the rest of the input line from the keyboard buffer so bad input won't break the next scanf. And for the 21st, code line is closes the while first loop. And for the 22nd is it ends the getlnt function. And for the 23rd is a blank line again, blank line before the next function. And for the 24th, void display seats. It starts a function display seats that takes a 2-day array of seats and prints a visual layout to the screen. And for the 25th is printf, prints a new line and some spaces to start top of the seat map for column numbers. And for the 26th, for a short loop that prints column numbers, seat numbers across the top formatted and with spacing. J plus 1 shows seat numbers starting at 1. And for the 27th is printf. Prints a new line after the column numbers so the seat rows will print on the next line.
Good evening, ako di si Lawrence D. Gitla. And ako ang sumpay sa among leader si Queen Gina Oy. Then ako sugod ko sa number 28 to 55 taman. Ari taman then ay sunod na after ng video, so let's explain it. Then para mo kuan ang ang seeds niya for int I equals 0, then I rows pila ka rows imong ganahan, then printf 2d, then I plus 1, then for int j equals 0, then seeds na sa jj para sa mga seeds ni, then char nga book ba ni siya or temporary hold, then printf kaning correct character ni ja, then another printf na sa /n, then another printf that legend, then mag-print kag available ba ni nga seat or book or yours or seat nga na kuan nimo na taken na asa kanang kinta, like example nga ning kuan kasi seat sa first ticket nimo. If nana na si ja makita nimo asa nagadapit gaano lingkod, then after magkuan ka for market seats, then in seats row seats, then in another int rows, in calls, then in count platanan, then in pila lang in ilang status, then for int, then another int na sa line 42 for int I equals 0 na count pila imong mag-count sa seat rows o calls and then equals to status siya. Then in count book, int seats, then row seats, then int c equals 0, then for int I equals 0, then kuan same sila nga imoy kuan pila ka rows niya, then another na sad pili makuanan sa seats, then another kuan na sad ni nga pila seats ang na kuan nila na book karon. So moro to awa ma'am, salamat jamo.
So, sa lines 56 to 83 are the part of the program where the whole booking process really starts. So, muna, the system prints a welcome message, then it loops throughout the cinemas to show the movies and their ticket prices. After the program asks the user to choose which cinema they want, and once magkapili na sila, it displays the full seating layout so the user can easily see kung say available o kung say occupied na mga seats. Then, the user is asked how many tickets they want to buy, and the program creates temporary arrays para i-store ang row ug seat number sa tanan nilang choices. After that, a loop starts nga mo run depending on how many tickets ang i-order. Inside this loop, the user inputs the row and seat number for each ticket, pero the program doesn't accept it right away. It first checks kung napili na ba nimo ang same seat earlier, and it also checks kung booked na ba ang seat sa laing tao. Kung naay conflict, the program politely tells the user to pick another one kay dili pwede. But if the seat is valid and available, the program saves the row and seat into the temporary arrays. So in short, kani nga section handles the whole process from choosing a cinema to verifying each seat choice, making sure tanang gipang pili kay correct, available, ug walay duplication before proceeding sa preview and confirmation.
Hello everyone, I am Lalaine Misbales and I will report the lines 84 to 110. Line 84. Prints which ticket number is being selected. Line 86. Ask user for row number, ensures is valid and converts to zero base index. Line 87. Ask user for seat number, ensures it's valid and converts to zero base index. Line 89. A comment that labels the next section. Line 90. Sets a flag to check if the seat was already chosen. Lines 91 to 93. Loops through previously selected seats. Marks duplicate equals to 1 if same row and seat were already picked. Lines 95 to 99. If seat was already chosen, tells user decreases counter so they retry and skips to next loop iteration. Lines 101 to 105. If seat is already booked in cinema, tells user decreases counter and skips to next loop iteration. Line 107. Saves chosen row into selection list. Line 108. Saves chosen seat into selection list. Line 109. Ends the surrounding block, likely the loop for ticket selection. Line 110. Blank line for readability. In short, this block prints the ticket number, asks for row or seat, checks duplicates and availability, and saves the valid choice. And the next reporter is Miss Katie Bantogan.
Good day, everyone. Today, I will be explaining the final part of our C program, which starts from line 111 all the way to the end. So this section contains the main logic of our cinema booking system. It is the part of the code that actually interacts with the user, allows them to choose a cinema, select seats, confirm their booking, and see the results. In other words, this is where the whole cinema ticketing process happens. In the next part, I will walk you through what the program does step by step in a clear and simple way. So first, the program welcomes the user and displays all the available cinemas. It also shows the movie titles and their corresponding ticket prices. After that, the user is asked to choose which cinema they want to book in. So once the user selects a cinema, the program shows the seating layout of that cinema. The seats are displayed with symbols. A blank box means the seat is available. An X means the seat is booked, or O means it is temporarily selected by the user. Next, the program asks how many tickets the user wants to buy. For each ticket, the user must choose the row number and the seat number they want. While choosing, the program checks two things. First, it checks if the user selected the same seat more than once. And second, it checks if the seat is already booked. If either of those happens, the user is asked to pick a different seat. After all the seats are selected, the program temporarily marks the chosen seat with the letter O. This gives the user a preview of their booking so they can see which seats they pick. Then the program asks the user to confirm their reservation. So if the user confirms by entering Y, the program changes all the selected seats from temporarily holds to officially booked. Marked with an X. It also displays the total price based on the number of seats multiplied by the cinema's ticket price. If the user does not confirm the booking, the program removes the temporarily holds and returns the seats to available status. After that, the program counts and shows how many people are now inside the selected cinema based on the number of booked seats. So finally, the program asks if the user wants to book again. If the user chooses Y, the whole booking process repeats. If the user chooses N, the program ends and displays the message, "Thank you for using Cine Tabay."